It's no secret that I'm a budget-minded person. I really appreciate firearms that constitute a good value for the buyer. And of course, Charter Arms, no big surprise. These have been great value firearms for many years. I still think it's crazy that they can sell their guns for in the mid 300 range for a basic, 38 special or 22 long rifle pistol. I've had this Pathfinder 22 snub nose for quite a while, and I've done a handful of videos on it, doing little improvements, swapping out the cylinder, swapping out the grips. I recently put a stainless steel grip frame on this gun as well. But if there's one thing I like more than getting a good value on one gun, it's getting more than one caliber out of a single firearm. Growing up, my parents were very frugal, and they tried to instill in me the best ways to save money. We also had a local supermarket chain in New England that was called Market Basket, and their motto was Market Basket, where you always get more for your dollar. So that has really taught me throughout my life to try to barter as much as I can when I'm buying stuff and to try to get the best value you can. And what's better than getting two for one? What do I mean by that? Well, Charter Arms used to have a Target Pathfinder convertible, or what they called the Dual Pathfinder, where you could basically get a 22 long rifle and a 22 Magnum cylinder. The Dual Pathfinder has actually been out, I think, since the late 70s or early 80s, but they had some out in the late 2000s that was based on the same model of the original Target Pathfinder that I had. I think mine was originally from about 2015, and all the information that I found online had the dual Pathfinder or the dual target Pathfinders pegged somewhere around the 2008-2009 time period. It has been a little bit difficult finding information about these, but the best I could find, it was a model number 62240, and you can still find legacy web pages that have some information on these. Again, this particular website had the part number, double single action, 4-inch barrel, and 22 long rifle, 22 Winchester Magnum. And basically, it was your standard Target Pathfinder with two cylinders. So again, I haven't found a ton of information, no catalog data or anything like that. But one thing that makes me think, and always being the person that I am, looking for stuff online, looking for parts, looking for upgrades and things like that for my firearms, I started really digging into this Pathfinder 22 snub nose that I have. And through the research, I found the 1980s version of the Pathfinder that I have, the 3-inch barrel, is actually, it has a longer forcing cone and a shorter overall cylinder length. So that particular generation that I have, obviously, you could not put a longer cylinder in it without shaving down the forcing cone, and you'd have to have something custom fit. Now, this particular 22 long rifle Pathfinder actually has a very short forcing cone and a very long cylinder. And in doing some research online and looking at pictures of some parts kits, it appeared to me that the cylinder actually might be the same length between the 22 long rifle and the 22 Winchester Magnum rimfire. And again, going back to that 2008-2009 time period, when they had the original dual Pathfinder or the Pathfinder Target convertible, they actually had this longer cylinder. Now you can see here the 22 Winchester Magnum rimfire cartridge obviously will not fit in a 22 long rifle cylinder. The diameter of the case on the 22 Magnum is a little bit bigger, but again, through doing some searching online, I found a 22 Magnum cylinder out of a 22 Magnum Pathfinder. And again, the pictures that I could see online made it appear that it might be about the same size as the 22 long rifle cylinder that's in this Revolver now. It was about $35 on eBay, and honestly for me, it was absolutely worth taking a chance to buy this cylinder and figure out if I can swap it into this gun and make a dual Pathfinder once again. Now again, Charter Arms hasn't offered these for about, 13, 14, 15 years, something like that. And I thought it might be a really cool project to try to figure out if this would work. So here are the two cylinders side by side. The 22 Magnum cylinder has shorter flutes cut in it because the diameter of the cartridge is actually a little bit bigger, and the 22 long rifle cylinder has longer flutes cut in it. So you can kind of tell them apart just by looking at them. Now, you might be saying about this point in time, oh, but Cranky, the cylinders are going to be out of time because they weren't made for that specific revolver. And there is some cause for concern in that thought. However, I've bought multiple cylinders for undercovers, my Bulldog, and this Pathfinder as well. And, coming from eBay, not matched to this gun, I've swapped them in. And on every single one of those, the timing has been perfect. They machine these well enough that you can swap the parts back and forth without issue. What is more concerning to me is making sure that the outlet diameter of the individual chambers on the cylinder are the same. And on the 22 Magnum, they are 0.225. And on the 22 long rifle cylinder, they are also 0.225 diameter. So that's good. The outlet diameter of the bore on the cylinders are the same. Then I was concerned about the actual length of the cylinder. And on the 22 long rifle cylinder, what I'm looking at here is a length of 1.551 inches. And on the 22 Magnum cylinder, I have 1.553 inches. So the Magnum cylinder is 2 thousandths longer than the 22 long rifle cylinder. And, the 2 thousandths, it's a little bit different, but when I put this in the frame of the gun, we'll see that the end play is actually pretty good. There is no excessive slop and there is no dragging. So as I look at this again, now that I have the cylinder in and I know it fits in the frame, the nice thing is you only have to take that one screw out to do it. But I can look at the end play in this, and there are a few thousandths of end play in this. So when it's shooting, you're not going to have any issue with the forcing cone dragging on the cylinder. You're not going to have any issue with the rounds dragging on the back of the frame. There actually is enough play. And then the next most important thing is to test the lockup on this. And as I'm cycling the action back and forth here, the cycling of the action is nice. Everything seems to lock up correctly, and it is pretty tight. I did check the concentricity of the barrel to the bore on the cylinder, and on all 6 chambers, it seems like the concentricity is perfect, meaning the timing is good, there's nothing out of alignment, and it locks up really tight. So the nice thing about this now, I have an inexpensive 22 long rifle pistol that also is a convertible model similar to what you would have with a Ruger single 6 convertible or a Ruger Super Wrangler or a Heritage Rough Rider convertible or the Taurus Tracker revolver. And now that I have this fully assembled, we can kind of do a test using some 22 Magnum ammo. As you can see here, obviously they're going to load into the cylinder because it is a cylinder that's chambered for 22 WMR. But as I load that cylinder up and I can close it on the frame, and I can just validate again that even when it's loaded, I don't have any dragging of the cylinder. So again, here as I close it, I will kind of push it shut and rotate it a little bit, and it does close great. There is still a little bit of end gap in there, and I'm very confident that this is going to work. Now, I did send an email to Charter Arms to see if there was any potential risks, but I can tell you I haven't heard back from them yet. I am very confident that this is going to work without issue. The main reason is the frame on this gun and the size of the barrel, the diameter of the barrel and things like that. It's all the same as the 38 Special and the 380 and the 9mm. So I know that the frame and the barrel and everything can handle the pressure, and this cylinder is designed for 22 WMR. So again, I'm confident that this is going to work. However, I am not saying that you should go out and try this. This is not a tutorial. This is just what I'm trying with my gun. Turning this Pathfinder into a dual Pathfinder that can shoot multiple calibers makes me really happy. I always like when you can shoot multiple calibers out of one firearm. And in the words of Manny CA,
you're talking super value.
So thanks for watching another edition of Cranky Gun Reviews with this budget-minded 22 long rifle revolver, and the Charter Arms still present a really good value in a revolver as long as you get a good one. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day. God bless America. Support your 2A rights. Get out there and shoot. And you remember, if someone asks you to give up some of your freedom for the greater good, remind them that freedom is always the greater good. And if you're tired of seeing my Charter Arms revolver videos, I'm sorry. I really happen to like Charter Arms revolvers, and no, I'm not sponsored by them, but I'm trying. Come on, Charter Arms, throw me some swag.